Hello everyone, Bashar here. So we are together with our last trial of the Sekhemas guide. In the first one, I did a general overview. Then we did an Against the Darkness run. Then we did a regular run with maximum quantity. And now we are going to discuss how to make money, aka currency, from trial of Sekhemas. As you can see, I have just finished it. Uh, there was a reason I'm not really very good with fancy edits, so I wanted to show you, firsthand. So, guys, how to make money. So first of all, the obvious thing is the regular drops. As you can see, I have been stashing them here. Then there are the relic drops. I have been stashing them here. They can be worth a lot of money. Then there are the drops from the boss, the unique relic drops. Sadly, only two of them are worth something, as you know. One of them is the Sways, makes the boss drop against the darkness, as you can see here. And the other one is the one that makes the boss drop temporarily, which is extremely valuable, but also extremely rare, right? So, as I have said in the first video, this is the main prize. This is the grand prize, right? It's not the same. This is extremely rare, so you could farm this place without ever getting the, I believe it was called the Last Flame, right? Last Flame is the relic, the unique incense relic that makes the boss drop temporals. It's worth about 450 divine these days, so mighty powerful. So how can you make money? As I said, the first route is there are regular drops. You won't be killing too many monsters, but my average experience is once every 3 rounds or so you get something in the neighborhood of a divine, or I mean you either get a divine, you get or you get a stellar amulet or something like that. Stellar amulets are pretty close to one divine these days, and divines are up to like 550 exalted, so there's that. So what else can you do? So guys, when you get to the last room, as seen in the example, so you can take a look at Bala. She will be selling some relics. These relics can sometimes be valuable. I mean, this is as if you get like if you have the extra merchant choices, this is like you are getting like 9 additional relic drops or something like that. Just go over these. So for example, this could have been valuable if the honor resistance and honor were somewhat better. Obviously, quantity of relic drops are valuable, so we have nothing here. Then we can convert all of our remaining sacred water into keys. Yeah, pretty garbage amount. This is pretty bad, but guys, at some point you just don't need anything. So guys, let's just go over in ascending order. So bronze, guys, you want to open small relic caches first, and then the mysterious ones, right? In that order. So the thing is, due to the nature of bronze keys being pretty common, you will be having a lot of leftover. So when you are getting to the last boss, first boss room, the room after the first boss, the room after the second boss, the room after the third boss, and any bronze caches you may encounter, if you see any relic or mysterious caches, open them, because they do not get prime or superior like silver and gold caches. So if you see a small relic cache or a mysterious bronze cache, always open them. Don't wait until this room, right? With the silver and gold, you have to wait until this room. For silver, the best is the royal caches. They drop jewels. Second best is mysterious. Mysterious are kind of a bit of everything. And third best would be small relic caches. And finally, fourth best, not really best, but medium relic caches, right? Large relic caches are worthless because large relics are worthless. So there is that. For golds, there is a lot of stuff. The best one is Spectrum Cache, very, very rare. So guys, I don't know how many rounds I did exactly, but I have seen a total of 2 Spectrum Caches, so they are that rare. Second best is, again, these are pretty rare, Time Lost Caches, which are the only source of So Spectrum caches are the only source for Spectrum jewels. The ruby is kind of worthless. Then we have the, what's the name? The emerald. That's about 1 divine, and then there is the sapphire. That's worth about 4, 5, 3, something like that in divines. So it's pretty nice, right? You have a 33% chance of hitting that. Every time you see it, you should be opening it every time you see. Time loss caches are the source for time loss jewels. They can sell for a hefty amount, but of course they are pretty nasty to price check. And then we follow the order of silver caches. We go royal, mysterious, small relic maybe. Ring and amulet are very rare. You could also squeeze them somewhere in there, but I would keep Spectrum, Time Lost, Royal, that order. Mysterious can miss very hard. You could open a mysterious cache and get nothing at all. So if you have a ring or amulet, maybe you put it ahead, maybe a belt. So let's go with the Time Lost cache. We got 3 Time Loss. I don't have anything else there. We have a mysterious. I do have 5. Go. 1 sapphire ring, okay. Nothing. Sure. Okay, what else? Small relic, I think will be it. And we will have 1 left over, sadly. So guys, because of the value of these caches, I would definitely suggest arriving at the last room with no less than 2 gold keys. You will already have some bronze and silver, right? They are not very relevant, but you definitely want to have at least 2. You want to be able to open every single Spectrum, Time Lost, and Royal cache. If you miss out on mysterious ones, that's no big deal. Okay. Cartographer means what's the maps? They are pretty bad. They are low tier. Okay, now we have something to use just randomly. And thing is, guys, the small relic caches are not very valuable when you go up in tier. So bronze small cache is almost the same thing with gold, because what they generally drop is a single small relic. Right, that's about it. Belt, sure. I do have 10 bronze, so I shouldn't be very picky. Just randomly click on stuff, I guess. Let me do the cartographer for you, see? Low tier stuff. Small relic cache always. Because thing is, guys, if you would remember from my first video, the most valuable ones are the small ones. Okay, let me just finish this. Insensitive, we don't care. Mysterious. I missed out on a royal because I was a little bit lazy. Wow, okay. So guys, this is another way of making money from here, right? So there are the regular drops, there are the relic drops, there is the last room, there is Balbala. You check her out in the last room, especially if you have merchant options. I have been able to buy, I think, 2 relics from her so far that are worth 1 divine. I did. And so you also have to be a little bit familiar with the pricing. Generally, guys, if you have a 20% relic quantity and the other FX is rather bad, it's still worth a divine. If there is something tangible there, it goes up to 2 divine. If you have trap damage reduction, it jumps to, depending on how much relic quantity and trap damage reduction you have, it can go up to like 10 divines. And the best ones are movement speed and quantity of relics. I should have a few here for sale. Hold up. See, 10% movement to 19%. So I don't have a perfect one here, but I have 2 that are one of perfect. And as you can see, the prices, they are worth upwards of 20 divine. And perfect ones, depending on how the market is fluctuating, they can go up to 30 divine, mighty valuable. 10% movement speed and 20% quantity of relics. Those are the best. So another way of making money is, as I said, against the darkness, right? You grab a waste relic, unique waste relic from the boss, right? I mean, be it either boss drop or you buy from someone else, and you go and ID the thing. Okay, let's take a look at it, for example. So this one is, I think, not very good. So guys, if you see 2 divine as the min price, that means you have gotten garbage, right? 2 divine is the absolute minimum, because thing is, guys, you can use 3 against the darkness and reroll it in the reforging branch to get another, right? So as you can see, I have a ton of garbage here. At some point, maybe I will be rerolling that. So now just price check them. What is desired? The thing that's most desired, I believe, is spirit. If you have spirit on it, 50-60 divine. Damage ones are pretty good, gain 4% as extra damage for notable. And if you have 2 of those, then it goes again 50-60 divines. Spirit on its own is valuable. Percentage stats are not bad. There is a lot of attribute stacking going on. But be prepared to miss a lot, right? I have obtained, I don't know, 15 to 20, I think, so far, and the best one I have gotten was 6-7 divine sort of thing, right? So against the darkness is one way of money making here. The relics are, and guys, if you wanna squeeze the fly for its oil, that's an idiom. That's a saying from my literal translated from Turkish. So if you want to go hard at value, there is one more thing that you can do. You can dump the relics here, as I did here. Okay, that triggered my OCD. Good. Okay. So guys, what you can do is you can 3-4-1 the relics in here, right? So for example, guys, you grab these, right? You take all of the earned relics into your inventory, right? You put 30 earned relics in your inventory, and obviously I think you actually won't be able to, but whatever, right? You get out of earned relics in your inventory, and then you ID them all, right? And maybe 1 or 2 are worth selling, and the rest are bad, right? So you can go to the reforging bench and reroll them. So the problem with that approach is, guys, it's good, right? I have done it myself. The problem with that approach is it takes an extreme long amount of time. So when you're green, right, when the runs are taking long, it could be worth it, right? But when you have a good character that can handle this place in about, I don't know, in around 20 minutes, then it stops being not worth. Because the thing is, guys, the amount of time you have to invest in rerolling an entire inventory's worth of relics, let's say, takes 10+ minutes, right? And it doesn't become very worth it. So for example, let me show you, I have 3 earned relics there, which are not good. Yeah. So this is not too bad, but it's not going to be valuable. Trap damage reduction is pretty good. So guys, what can I do? 3 of them in there, I reforge, take a look. And obviously you do this in masses, but yeah. So there is something that's weird here, guys. The tapestry relics cannot be rerolled. Only those, for an unknown reason. So if you recall my advice from the first video, you do not pick up the 4 square relics at all from the ground. Vase 1x4, incense 4x1, and coffer 2x2. You don't even pick them up because they are bad, right? They don't have anything valuable in them. So the 2x1 and 1x2 ones have the movement speed plus relic quantity, right? They are the best ones. And the 1x3 and 3x1 ones, the amphora and the tapestry, they can have the increased merchant choices and honor resistance, or increased merchant choices or merchant discount, that sort of stuff, and those can be valuable. But there is nothing that makes the 4 square ones valuable, right? So there is no need to pick them up. And as I said, you can reroll the urn, you can reroll the seal, you can reroll the amphora, but you can't reroll the tapestry. So guys, if you get a tapestry from the ground, identify it, and if it's not your liking, just drop it there, right? You can't reroll them, and their vendor price is 1 gold, so there is nothing there. Another affix that is somewhat valuable on these is boss stake increased damage. So that is for players that have recently started and suffering with their damage, especially if they are trying to get against the darkness. Then the boss will have a whopping 75% damage reduction. Boss stake increased damage. It can go up to like 30%. That is also pretty valuable. Not the reduced damage, of course, that's bad, right? We want boss stake increased damage. It can go up to 30%. Honor resistance on the 3 square ones can go up to 40%. I think the increased honor can go up to like 45%. And if you get a combination of those, that is valuable, right? Let's say, 38% honor resistance, 42% honor. That is, again, divines. But of course, it's very hard to get such, because even if you get an honor resistance combination, they have to roll the right tiers. And the thing is, there are a lot of tiers. So it's not like it starts from 30% and there are like 2 or 3 tiers. No, there are like 5 or 6 tiers, right? The honor resistance starts from 10% or something. So there is the 10 to 15. I'm just making the numbers up right now, but there are a lot of tiers. So it's very hard to get one like that. Let me show you. But I would suggest letting go of that rerolling practice when you reduce your runtime down to 20-ish minutes. Right? So if you can do it fast, it will be a lot of time. And it's also pretty frustrating, right? You take a whole inventory's worth of relics, you put them in one by one, 3 reroll, take it back, 3 reroll, take it back, etc. Then take a look at those, use the augmentation orb on them, then, evaluate them, and then do the 3-4-1 with them again, right? So for example, guys, we have an inventory that is, I believe, 60 squares, right? So you get 30 CO relics in, you evaluate them, you decide you want to sell like 3, 57 remain, you reroll them, you get 19 new, you take a look at those 19, you reroll those, you get 6 more, blah, 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 right? So I was doing it at the beginning, just as I said, but after a while, I'm like, when I see the full quad, I was like, what the hell is this? Right? I mean, imagine guys rerolling these. So the tapestries won't be rerolled, but take a look at the amount, right? This is 24 by 24, 576 squares. I mean, okay, I do not reroll the tapestries, 60 squares. I am going to reroll 516 squares worth of relics. And even if the distribution is, homogeneous, I will have hundreds of relics to go through, right? I mean, on average, I will have to go through like 150 relics. That will take a very long time. And as I said, imagine, guys, it's also repetitive, right? You get to 150 relics, you reroll them, you get 50 more. You take a look at those, reroll them. I did that, I believe, once. So the way I gave up on rerolling these was, I did this once, right? I did a full quad tab of relics, rerolled them once, and I'm like, oh no, not again. And that's how I stopped. And my runtime about now is, if I don't slack, is about 20 minutes. And yeah, so I'm not very sure how much the reroll of 1 round's worth of relics takes, but a full quad takes a very long time. You could just go in and do more runs. I think that would be more profitable. There is another thing that I wanted to remind you. You could sell the Against the Darkness unidentified if you don't want to gamble, because as you can see, if they are bad, they are worth 2 divine, and it will take a long time to sell them. But unidentified, they are worth 5, right? Around 5, 4 to 5. So you could just not gamble and allow someone else to gamble, sell them unidentified. My curiosity beats me. I identify them, and I have never hit big, so I'm waiting for that. So guys, at this point, I'm at a real loss, right? Because the base relics are a little bit above 2 divine, 2 and 2.3, 2.5 divine or something. And guys, imagine you go in and you get one that's worth 2, right? That's a loss. Again, right? So maybe right now I'm barely even because I got that 6-1 and I got 4-1 or something, but yeah, I haven't profited yet, so the real deal, right? 60, 50, 40, I mean 2 digits. I have never seen that. So guys, yeah, and the biggest source of your profit will come from, I would say, the jewels, right? So I would definitely suggest, going for royal caches and properly prioritizing getting keys. It's pretty important. So they will take some, regal orbs, exalt orbs, etc. And keep in mind, rubies are rather bad. I mean, just take a look at the rubies, and this is for once a decent-ish ruby. So guys, take a look at the rubies. If they don't look really good to you, just don't even exalt them, sell them. I don't even 3-4-1 them, right? I hate them so much because they are so worthless, right? They are not worth the time you invest in them. But emeralds and sapphires are both great, right? I normally, guys, go a little bit lazy and I fully exalted them without looking. So guys, I mean, some emeralds can be bad, right? And not deserving of an exalted. I mean, I do have a huge jewel dump here. I will cry the day when I will go over this, but take a look at this, guys. Accuracy rating with balls, garbage. Mana recovery from flasks, okay, but that's something that sweetens the deal. Flask effect duration, meh. Increased damage with crossbow. So guys, we have one thing that's valuable-ish, and thing is, crossbows are meant for mercenary, and these days mercenaries are playing with quarter staves, so this is worse, right? And I don't know what the FXs were, but I definitely was at fault to use the exalted, right? I mean, the last exalted, I didn't need to use this because this was obviously a bad one. But as I said, guys, I just went lazy and do the things. Time loss stuff is something else, as you can see, very weird stuff. They are a little bit hard to evaluate. Yeah. I mean, they are rare to obtain, but they are hard to sell. I think I have sold 1 for 2 divine so far, and that's it. So they don't sell. So anyway, I should not make the video even longer. So guys, that's how you make money from trial Sekhemas. And one last thing, of course, you can also trade in relics, right? You can buy and sell relics. I mean, once you're familiarized with the market, you can sometimes find stuff that are a little bit lower than they should be, and you could sell them for what they should be. So guys, for example, I could give you an example, right? 4% movement speed, 20% quantity of relic drops once, which is what I used at the beginning. They are being sold for 5, right? 5 divine. Every once and then you will be seeing those getting sold for 4 divine. So, if you don't, look down on a divine, you could buy it for 4 and sell it for 5. Of course, the key is patience. And sometimes, guys, there would be people. So, for example, someone would be selling a 5 movement 20 quantity for 5, right? That can be sold for 6. And sometimes you can get a 6% movement and 20% quantity of relics. I have done so, and that sells for 8. Imagine, guys, buying for 5 and selling for 8 is mighty powerful, right? Because some people don't realize the difference between those. I mean, they are quite a little bit different. So there is that. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.